They tell you growing up you can be anything. Life is what you make it. Well, this is a story about someone who took chances nobody else would, and they paid off. This is the story of AJ Mandani.
I'm on a visit posing for the picture, like I'm going for my prime or something, like I ain't facing time or something. Riding for these like that shit they hurt my mom or something. Only one gon' give me commissary, even buy me something when it all fall down. I can't call y'all now, even if I hit your phone, that won't get me home. Seen so many different times these did me wrong. That's the reason that I did this song. We was kids, used to play on the step. A couple years later, we flirting with the angel of death. I was 11 years old, I got my hands on the tech. When I first touched it, that shit gave me a rush. My homies dying, I'm like, maybe we next. That just made me a threat. Knowing they smoke my daddy, it just made me upset. Made me a man, I was 5.
What's up, guys? So I'm here today with AJ Mandani. AJ, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate you, bro.
So we're gonna keep it fun right now. Start with some rapid fire questions, and then we'll get on to the more serious stuff. Okay? So first question, English or Tagalog?
English.
English, okay. Do you speak Tagalog?
Konti lang.
That's my answer too. What's the best food to try in the Philippines?
For me, I'm gonna have to say Bicol Express.
Okay, what's that?
Crispy pata, fried pork knuckles.
What is your pregame music?
It's mostly hip hop, or depending, going into the stages of the game, some heavy rap and some hip hop.
So no country?
No. Nah, this is the only one I played with you.
Ankle breaking three or be able to dunk on somebody?
Being able to dunk on somebody.
Now, what is the most points you've ever scored in a game?
Like in an AAU game, I had 40. I had 40 in the AAU game.
Okay, nice. What about as a pro?
35 or 37.
Dang, that's pretty good though. So what is your favorite vacation spot?
Favorite vacation spot? Now it's Bel Air.
Yeah?
In the Philippines, yeah.
Okay, nice. What's that like, a beach?
Yeah, it's a little beach resort where they do surfing. My bro, Kels, he took me out there and loved it.
Nice,
it's
man.
a new spot.
Nice, shout out to Kelly. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Gucci or Louis Vuitton?
Gucci.
Kobe or MJ?
MJ.
MJ, okay. MJ or LeBron?
MJ.
There we go. You're in the gym, would you rather work on your legs or abs?
Abs. I hate working on my legs.
Yeah. I think everybody hates legs, especially basketball players.
Yeah.
The next day of practice is
rough.
MRT during rush hour or jeepney when it's 100 degrees outside?
I could take the jeepney. I guess you can just jump off whenever you want.
Yeah.
And start walking or whatever.
That's for sure.
MRT's kind of, it's too packed, too crazy. Sardines.
Bangkok, Singapore.
Ooh. I gotta go with Singapore, man.
Singapore?
I gotta go with Singapore, man. I love it there. It's so beautiful. Loved it there.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
Yeah, what was so great about Singapore? Like as a country, not
as a country, just it was just like amazing. It was so clean. No crimes.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an amazing place to be. It was like being back home, but still being in Asia, you know?
Yeah.
It had that same feel, so.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, I've only been to the airport, bro. It's literally the cleanest airport I've ever seen.
Cleanest place I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Cleanest country I've ever been in.
Don't you get like arrested if you spit or chew bubble
Or chew gum or something? Yeah, that's what my teammates would say, because some of them are officers, so they would say stuff like that. Yeah, see us chewing gum. But,
well, I can't really chew gum, man.
Yeah.
Milos or halo halo?
You know, it's Milos all day.
Okay. Now, have you ever been to California?
Never.
Never, okay. So my last question, where's the first place you want me to take you when you go to California?
That In-N-Out burger.
You've never had In-N-Out?
No.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
you always talk about the In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta try that.
You have to. Now AJ, let's talk about your career. You've played in a lot of countries. Can you name those countries?
I played in Thailand a couple seasons. My last season I was playing in Singapore, and then for a few years I was playing here in the Philippines.
Okay, nice. Now, you're originally from Canada. You're Filipino-Canadian. You played junior college in Chicago, then you went on to a D2 in Missouri.
So,
Can you kind of just take us through that grind?
it was kind of crazy because coming out of high school, I didn't have the grades to get into a Division I school, and I didn't actually pass the SATs. So I was registered to go into Canadian school. And then I got a call from Coach John Pagati in Chicago, and he gave me a call and gave me a chance, and I hopped on a Greyhound and went straight there. My brother gave me a couple bucks in my pocket, and I went straight to Chicago and I was out there, and it was tough. It was tough.
Wow. So you really took a chance.
Definitely took a chance. My whole family basically helped me take that chance. They all believed in me, and like I said, I have the pictures at the Greyhound. I remember just going with a gym bag and a suitcase, and I was in the middle of Chicago, just at the bus stop and waiting for my coach. We never met him, never seen him, and just kind of took the chance. And it was actually a great experience. It was rough. It was definitely rough, but overall, I learned a lot. It taught me a lot about how to grind, and we had 2 great seasons over there. Ranked 5th and 7th in the nation my 2 years there. We went to nationals twice, and then so that was good too, and it helped me get ready to transfer to the University of Missouri S&T Division II, which playing in Juco made it a little bit easier, because Juco's a grind, man. It's like Juco's tough. It's tough. A lot of guys go hard, and everyone's fighting for that next scholarship, and once I got that scholarship to the next school, I just took the grind with me from South Suburban College, and what my coach taught me there, Coach John Pagadi, and just kind of ran with it, and it made things a lot easier. I felt like, I wouldn't say I had an advantage over people, but it helped me, just helped me have an edge.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my next question. Obviously, going through that grind, going through that struggle, I feel like a lot of players watching can relate. A lot of players hit me up from Juco, and they always ask me, "Hey, do you think I can play pro from a junior college?"
Yeah.
Do you think that's possible?
Definitely. I think some of the top players come out of junior college. It's just sometimes the situation, you might just not have the grades to get into the schools you might want, but definitely, if you know what I mean, I feel like as long as you're working and you're grinding, basketball, it's worldwide, and everyone's watching, and there's a spot for like you somewhere, And I just believe, if you believe in yourself, then that's half the battle right there.
Yeah. Going from Juco to D2, obviously that's a lot of moving. Canada, Chicago, Missouri.
Yeah.
At such a young age, at 18. At any point, did you want to quit? Did you want to go home? Did you get
Oh man, like every day almost, man. I remember, like, especially when I first moved to Chicago, I remember calling my mom and my brother, like, every other day, just crying and complaining, talking about, like, I don't get to eat what I want because now I have to, start cooking for myself, and I have to do my own laundry and stuff. And man, it was definitely tough though. It was definitely tough.
Yeah, but it made it worth it, obviously.
Oh, it definitely made it worth it. It made me realize that, like, you just can't quit. At the end of the day, like you said, as long as you believe in yourself and you keep going forward, like, no obstacles can kind of get in your way.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a great mindset to have. Now, so you go from Juco to D2, all this moving, but it's within North America. How do you end up all the way here in the Philippines?
That's actually like a kind of a crazy story. So after the 4 years of college in the States, I ended up going back home to work. I was working in a factory. I was working there for about maybe like 6 months, and didn't like it at all. And I wasn't used to it. I was used to, like, always being able to play basketball and do what I want, kind of have my own routine. Mm-hmm. And then I was playing the local Filipino leagues in Canada, and I was still doing my thing. I was still pretty decent coming out of college, so I was doing my thing. And somebody in the crowd had a mutual friend in the Philippines at the time. So after the game, they gave me the phone, and it was Saul Mercado. It was Saul Mercado. So me and him were talking on the phone, and he was just telling me that they're starting up a new D League, and that he heard that I'm pretty decent and I'm still hungry, and I should just come try it out.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hung up with him, I actually have a friend from Toronto that was playing college basketball in San Sebastian, John Samira. So instantly I called him, and just to get the feel of how things are going and how it is in the Philippines, because coming from Toronto, we're coming from the same situation. So just called him up, asked him how it was, and thought if it'd be a good move, And his family helped me with the process of coming to the Philippines, and same situation. I remember it was like around my birthday in February, and when I got that call from when I talked to Saul, within like the next week, I bought a ticket and I was in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. We sold my car, bought a ticket, and moved to the Philippines.
Wow, that's incredible. That is a crazy story.
So that's kind of bet on, just gambling again, and just
seriously.
I just knew I didn't want to work, and I knew that I still loved the game, and I didn't want to leave it. So as soon as that opportunity came, I got my papers done and Within a week, I was out.
Man, that is truly remarkable. Seriously, because I know so many people who would not take a chance.
Yeah.
I know people who have chances set up, much better situations. You're literally just going off someone's word.
It was scary, bro. Like, as soon as I actually got called, I was just kind of YouTubing and Googling things because I had no idea what it's going to be like. And old school Filipinos would tell you, like, the bad things, you know, and it kind of put fear in you. But I just kind of said, like, you know, that's where I want to be. That's where I'm going to start my career. And
so you
did it.
So you went to the Philippines.
Yeah. And played the first DVD.
What kind of adjustments did you have to make? Was it exactly what you thought?
It was nothing like what I thought.
Okay.
It was nothing what I thought, man. There is so much talent here.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much talent. It's just ridiculous. There's a lot of guards, you know, and then it's just good basketball here. It's a little different. The tempo is quick. These guys they're fast. They're tough. They're hungry too.
I always tell people, like, because back home people say, "Oh, get me out to the Philippines. I'll kill these little Filipinos," and I'm like,
and to be honest, I was one of those guys. I was one of those guys that was sitting at home in Canada saying, "Man, I'm gonna go out there and I got here and I went to my first practice. It was Sawana Louis, or a lot of PBA guys are on there. Elaine Maliksi, James Senna, Marvin Hayes, Kelly Nabon. We had a squad. We went to the finals that year, and I got a wake-up call that first day in practice. They let me know that, like, it's not sweet, and you know what? You're gonna have to work for everything, which was perfect for me because I love to work. So it was right up my alley. I loved it.
Not a lot of people can go through that. I mean, it definitely takes somebody extremely tough. Because I mean, out here in the Philippines, especially being a guard, there's so many great guards.
Yeah.
I could probably name you 50 off the top of my head, and all of them are just tough as nails. Okay, so let's fast forward to 2012. That's the year you get drafted. Obviously, you're in, you know, what many call the most talented draft pool. You guys had Jumar, Calvin Abueva, Cliff Hodges,
Chris Ellis,
Alex
Monreali, Chris Chu, Vic Manuel, Jason Dutchman.
I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot of talent. Now, coming in as a rookie, as quote unquote rookie, it's your second year now in the Philippines, but your first year in the PBA.
Yeah.
What was your mindset like? You feel like you're ready now?
To be honest, I still felt like I wasn't ready. And I was in the gym. I'll probably be one of the first guys in the gym every single day with Coach Chris. He would help me a lot, and a lot of the coaches would help me a lot. And I always felt like no matter what, you just gotta always be ready. And even after getting drafted, like I said, still didn't feel ready. Still felt like I had a lot to prove, had a lot to do, and that's just the mindset I always had. And that's pretty much how my first season went.
Definitely. Now, your first year, you led the PBA in field goal percentage as a rookie. The next 4 seasons, you get traded to 4 different teams. Why do you think that was?
To be honest, man, I just feel like I'm really misunderstood. You know, like I may come off like a little gritty, a little, you know, a little loud sometimes, I'm real physical when I play, and so I just feel like I was just misunderstood, to be honest, man. And
but now, don't you feel like you kind of almost need that mindset coming in as a Filipino Canadian, as an outsider? You know, you look black.
Yeah.
You're that's how they see you. So don't you feel like you kind of need to come with a little more aggression just to kind of prove yourself?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. To be honest, like I don't feel like I have to do that. I feel like that's me regardless. That's been me. That's been the way that's the way we grew up. That's the way we played. Like I said, going through Juco, you're always playing for a spot. You're always in competition with the next person, and I always felt like that's the way I'm going to be, and that's the player I am. You know, not in a bad way. You know, it's like it's more to energize myself.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like if I make a good play, I might clap my hands and scream. It's nothing. It's not to intimidate you. It's more to pump myself up. You know. So, but sometimes it can get taken as other ways, and like I said, it can be misunderstood.
Because honestly, for me, from the outside looking in, you do have like that bad boy reputation. But I mean, getting a chance to play with you in Thailand really opened my eyes to like the player you really are. And honestly, it was like a dream come true for me because one, you have a point guard who's pass first, which is rare these days. Pass first, but you can clearly score. You led the PBA in field goal percentage your first year. You're tough as nails on defense, like you said. Like I remember our first game we played Hanoi, that came from Vietnam, and it was like the first play of the game, and you threw it to me, and I scored, and you like
got all in my face and we're all hyped, and then you picked up the guy full court and stripped him and you're clapping. And I mean, as a player, especially for me, who's also seen as ultra competitive, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You know, especially in your point guard. You want your point guard to be tough, pick up full court, pass first. I mean, and then on top of that, you were a couple years older, obviously. It was my second year overseas. And you kind of walked into that leadership role right away, and you kind of dealt with everybody's egos, kept everybody, you know, very cohesive, because we obviously had NBA guys, a bunch of young talent on our teams. Now, is that how you've always been, or did that kind of come throughout the years with maturity?
I can say it actually came after, like, after the years in the PBA, and I had to, you know, when I lost after my contract, I went down to the D League for a little bit, and I started playing in different leagues and stuff, and then that's where it humbled me, where it was like, maybe you got to change the way people see you, you know. And I forgot the saying. It goes, people won't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I forgot who told me that, but someone told me that, and it kind of stuck with me as I was going through that down spiral. And yeah, so then when I started playing in different places, I started like when I met you, it was your first time out, trying to help you adjust. There's just little tips like that will make it easier for you.
Yeah, definitely.
But I had to find out on my own.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like, you know, especially when you're teammates, that's like your family, you know. So you want to make everything as easy for, you know what I mean, as for your family as possible.
So how did you transition over to Thailand? And playing in Thailand, how did that help you?
So the transition from the Philippines to Thailand, like I said, so after that, I played in the D League for a little bit. They had a commercial league called the PCBL too. We won a championship over there. And then I got a call from Pete. Pete, he hit me up, told me that he wanted to try me out and see how things were. So I flew out there for a tryout, and you know, I just kind of bring the mentality that we have in the Philippines, you know, because in different countries they play different, right? So I wanted to bring that, like, Philippine mentality when I go there. I want to play gritty, I want to play fast, I want to play in-your-face ball. Like, yeah, I went over there and it was cool, and a lot of the guys, they were a lot older too, so it was easier to deal with their egos as well. Like, you know, easier to talk to them, and it was cool.
So tell me about your experience in the ABL. Why was it so special? You know, kind of compare it to the PBA.
To play in the ABL, period. The ABL was just a blessing in itself. Like, a guy like me coming out of Malton in Toronto, although, you know what I mean, outside of Toronto, and to go play in the ABL where you travel and playing in 9 different countries in 8 months, 7 months, like,
and every game
is crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's packed, and the fans are. The ABL period was it was a blessing to me, and the fact I got to go to Singapore it was pretty nice too. I had my roommate Von Kenta. He played there a few years ago. This last season, I was actually teammates with Ryan Wright, and we actually used to play against each other in high school. And I remember playing him in the PL finals, so that was actually a blessing too. That, you know, me and him played in high school against each other, played AU, and come full circle 9 years, like 6 years, 7 years later, we're playing pro in Singapore. Yeah, man. And Singapore is an amazing place, man. They just embrace you not only as a basketball player, but as a person. You know, like they take you out to dinners. They treat you like you're one of them. You know, and it's like
it's really cool.
Yeah, man. The team, like, we always have dinners at teammates' houses, coaches' houses, and
so it's really like a family.
It's definitely like a family, because those guys have been playing together for years. You know, and Xavier, he was there for the last 3-4 years, so they made my transition over there really easy, because, like I said, I played with Ryan, so me and him were roommates. So I had a guy from Canada. X was he's an ex-NBA guy, so he had a lot of, I mean, his IQ was real high, and he actually had his son there too, which made it a lot easier too, because, you know, I miss my nephews and my family back home, that I see this guy with his son, and he's doing what we do every day, like, you know, and he's being a father to this guy. So, like, hats off to X, man. He's doing big things, man. I respect him a lot, man. That's my guy.
Would you say that it's safe to say ABL is the EuroLeague of Asia?
Yeah, I can definitely say it's growing to be that. Yeah. And they're heading in the right direction. They're definitely heading in the right direction, actually, with the teams they just added these last 2 seasons. definitely heading in that direction, and I expect it's going to be big.
Now, you went back to Thailand after playing in Singapore. You played with TGE.
Yeah.
How was that? That was this summer. How was that?
That was really good, actually. That was my second season playing with TGE, so I'm familiar with all the guys, the coaches. So we had Josh, Biggie, and the rest of the guys. Like I said, I already knew and I was familiar with. So it was good, man. And we really competed. We finished third. We unfortunately finished third, but it was cool. I think we had a great season, though.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was actually supposed to play with Biggie.
Yeah.
He's in Taiwan right now
Yeah.
with Dasin Tigers.
Okay.
And it's funny because this was probably a month ago. I had an offer to play out there. And the day I was supposed to sign, I committed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The day I was going to sign, they got a call from OJ Mayo and his agent.
Yeah.
And they were talking to him like 3 months ago when he left Puerto Rico.
Long story short.
So after your great summer in Thailand, what's next for AJ Mandani?
Back to grind mode,
Never stops.
Never stops, as soon as you get a couple days off, you get to relax a little bit, get your mind right, but after that, it's back to the grind, and it is what's next. So I'm working out with some teams right now. I'm not going to say right now.
Mm-hmm. But, PBA teams?
Yeah. Working on a PBA team right now, and we'll keep you updated and let you know how it goes, man.
Yeah, there's no way you shouldn't be in the PBA. Obviously, each year you keep getting better and better. What do you focus on, each off season? Because you're playing a lot. You're going from an ABL season, which is November to April, and then playing a summer season in Thailand. So you're always on the go.
The most thing is just you gotta try to stay healthy. That's the hardest part, like when you're playing like that many months out the year and like back-to-back teams and seasons and games and practices. It's like you gotta just kind of know your body and know how to pace it. But other than that, I just try to just polish my game, work on things like get in the gym, just a lot of reps. Like it doesn't have to be nothing crazy, and I don't got to be in there for hours. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna tell you I do all these crazy things, but.
Yeah.
No, I go in there and I get what I need to get done. Whether it's 45 minutes or it can be an hour and a half. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna just handle business.
It's good. And I feel like that's a common misconception. Especially with all these Instagram trainers these days, you see all these crazy drills and everybody's trying to be so innovative. Mm-hmm. But if you really get behind the scenes, like this summer, I had a great opportunity to work out with NBA guys. Mm-hmm. You really see what their workouts are like, and it's very simple.
Simple, complete. Like it's just like A, B, C. Mm-hmm. Where like some of these trainers are doing all these moves, and if you ever go watch the kid play, they probably can't. Like they won't be able to do that move in a game situation. Definitely. So it's like you gotta just go to the basics and
because if you're not a point guard, on the catch you really have 3 dribbles. That's what I always tell people. Is if you're not handling the ball coming off pick and rolls, when it's thrown ahead to you, you can't catch. And now take your time trying to mix somebody. You have to go. Mm-hmm. You have to read a situation on everything.
On the fly, definitely.
Looking back this far, how do you want to be remembered?
I just want to be remembered as the guy that just goes hard, man. That just never stopped. Like I said, my career it's been a wave. I've been up there, I've been to the PBA. Been back down to the D League, had to go to Thailand. I played Liga Labas, had to go live in the province for 3 months. All that kind of just shaped me to, just feel like an underdog, And if I want to be remembered, I just want to be remembered as that guy that just didn't quit, and he's a dog, man. A dog, pretty much, It's a dog.
Yeah, and you definitely are. Now, for the people out there who don't know what Liga Labas is, they probably think you're speaking Spanish.
Okay,
If you want to explain that.
Like a Liga Labas is pretty much like a game, like a real game, like in certain cities or like barangays, but sometimes it could be like outside with no, like no roof. Might not be in a gym, it might be a cement floor, might be in a park, kind of like the Rucker.
Yeah.
It gives you kind of a feel like the Rucker. That's exactly how it feels like the Rucker. And they take it as such. Like it's liver than some, some pro games.
Yeah. Now these games are going on every day.
Yeah, these games go on at every park, at any time.
So now Liga Labas games are obviously games or tournaments within different cities or provinces. Now, so you're saying it could be one game or it could be a couple weeks long?
It could be, I've been to ones where I'll go out once a week, and I've been to ones where I got to stay there for 2 months.
Oh wow,
And,
2 months.
Yeah, I've been. Yeah, it's like a league. Like so, but it's amazing, and at the same time, you know, I'm grateful for those opportunities. Because at the same time, they help me out a lot. You know, helping me, you know, financially, and with them, I hope, you know, I need my service there, and you know, being able to go there and meet the people, and
so those are obviously great networking opportunities. Also.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool, and it gives you a chance to interact with.
Yeah,
Maybe fans who've seen you on TV but don't have enough money to go watch. Or
watch a game live, and for you to be able to come to their city and play at their park is like, it's amazing to them, and they appreciate it so much that it makes, you know what I mean? I feel good that I'm like, man, they want to see me play even if it is outside, like, you know, and I just appreciate it so much, and the Philippines just has so much love for the game. Like,
yeah, that's awesome. And so now, is the Philippines somewhere you can see yourself living the rest of your life?
For me, yeah, man. To be honest, this is kind of where I want to be. I kind of like when I moved here. I was telling you so earlier. When I moved here and I sold my car and moved, it took me 3 years to go back home. Like my first time back to Canada, you know. And I love the Philippines, and this is where I want to be when I'm retired and when I'm old, and that's where I want to be, man.
Lastly, AJ Mandani has played in many places. You've seen the top, you've seen the bottom, the struggle, the grind. What is some, for like aspiring players out there, what is some advice you can give to them that you wish somebody would have given you?
Respect the culture, and no matter where you are.
Yeah, I think that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, in different countries, you go to certain places, and in the Philippines, it's the same way. You respect the culture, because right there and there, you know, it could be a hit or miss, you know.
Yeah, seriously.
Definitely could be a hit or miss, but also to just always believe in yourself too. There's always going to be people telling you that you can't do this, and maybe you should do this different. Be yourself and believe in yourself. That's what I would have to say the most.
Yeah, I love those 2 points you just said, because for me, especially playing a professional sport, especially with a lot of fans, you have people back home. You just have so many different opinions. So you have a lot of people in your ears, and like learning how to filter that, I feel like, is so important, because not everybody's looking out for your best interests.
Yeah, definitely not.
And sometimes people are putting in their input and they have no idea what they're talking about. You know, so
Exactly.
obviously if it's your coach, your management, you have to do what they say to keep them happy. But
sure.
all that other outside noise, I mean, me personally, I use that as fuel. I know you do too. Also, what you said about culture, I feel like not enough imports, you know, really respect the culture.
And you gotta embrace it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like that's how you gain respect.
And that's how you keep your job in the future.
Exactly. That's how, like, you know, and you make more connections and networking, because that team or that organization can't say nothing bad about you.
Yeah.
No, you came in, you were respectful. You know what I mean? You came to work every day. You were a hard worker. They can't say nothing bad against you. So if someone else wants to, you know what I mean, hire you, they could always go back and say, no, he was a good guy. He was a great guy.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. Wisdom from the man himself. Anyways, AJ, I appreciate everything, bro.
Brother.
And we're looking forward to seeing what's next for you.
Definitely.
All right.
All right, cool. Yeah. Can I get that bag right there real quick, if you don't mind?
Okay. What's this?
Oh man, this is because, you know, my man, he never got a chance to showcase in the ABL or in the PBA yet, so I thought I'd
Oh man, you didn't have to.
hit you with some slinger shorts first, man. Some slinger
Dang, I
shorts.
don't think I've ever worn yellow shorts, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely rocking it.
Yeah.
These might have to just roll them one time.
Yeah. No, these ones are shorts. I knew you would like these ones. These are real shorts.
Appreciate
You
it.
don't like those
That's
ones.
awesome.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate that, man. See? Not scripted, the real AJ Mandani, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
God, man. It's my guy, the transporter.
Appreciate you, man.